all of you play multiple roles, both in front of and behind the camera on your films.
Like in The Nutty Professor.
Exactly, yeah, fat suits. You're producers, you're actors, you're directors, you're writers, you do all these different things. Do you find that confuses people in the mainstream film industry?
I feel like people are actually a little bit psyched when I'm like, I'm an actor, and they're like, oh great, so are 4 million other people, and they're like, but I'm also a writer, and they're like, oh, okay, now we can talk.
Only 2 million other people do that.
Yeah.
And, if you're going to cast yourself in your film and you don't pull off a good performance, then no one deserves more flack than you. So there's like this added pressure because it can just be a big, ego trip.
I also think it's very specific to independent film that people are able to do that. They really don't, in networks and studios, in my experience, want you to direct and act.
Who do you see playing Mike Birbiglia on this sitcom, Mike?
Well, I think it should be Jimmy Fallon, but I don't know what you think. Who's the attractive Mike Birbiglia? That's the question. It's not just about performing improv as an end in itself. It's about a philosophy of just saying yes and embracing collaboration. And I think it's actually, in terms of filmmaking, it's really important.
We'll have a really tight script and know exactly how we want it all laid out with extreme precision, and we're positive that's 100% the way it needs to go. And then we show up on set, and if there's something, a moment that's the opposite of what we were originally thinking, we don't have too much pride to just throw everything out the window at that point and just go with what's, use that as a blueprint, but then, run with, whatever comes up in the energy of the production.
The improv that I'm doing in a movie like Your Sister's Sister or The Puffy Chair is, it's narrative-based improv. It's basically a way to keep the narrative moving forward, to make things seem as organic as possible, to throw surprises out to your actors. So really, it's not about being in your brain so you can come up with the greatest chocolate banana joke you can. It's just saying, like, okay, this actor across from me is getting really used to what I just said. Their performance and their response is getting pretty pat, so I'm going to throw a wrench into this.
I think the whole point is to crack yourself up. I mean, that's especially when you're improvising, whatever you say, if you're not laughing inside your head, if you're not almost ruining the take, then it's probably not funny. But you want to make yourself laugh. That's actually the benefit of having a writing partner is you can be like, oh, I think this is going to be funny. We'll see what she says. And it's that back and forth. You hope to make each other laugh. You hope to make the other actor ruin the take. Because that's what you're gonna use.
I had a weird experience with Sister where I had never improvised in a film before, and what I found shocking, and I don't know if you have this, but I guess you're in the edit, is when I finally saw Your Sister, I was like, oh, now that's a movie. Yeah. Like all that stuff we said on the set for a few hours, that's part of a story. Yeah. Which was really, it was shocking for me.
With comedy more than anything else, you have to be able to let go of a joke that doesn't work. It's not like people are going to come around to it eventually. It's either they do or they don't, and right away.
Well, yeah, I know it's not funny, but they'll appreciate how good it was on the page,
Our big thing is every time we really liked something but no one else laughed at it, we would be like, but I really heard a lot of smiles. Yeah.
And when they're working on This American Life, the radio show, they use the word kill, and editors use the word kill a lot, and they do it joyously. They use the word kill as a very positive word. We're going to kill this. And there's something about it that's very freeing. It's like, that's not part of this anymore. We love that, and it's gone.
In my experience as a programmer at the festival, a lot of the people I meet who've made films about really fucked up stuff tend to be sunny and nice and super well adjusted,
Neil LaBute.
Yeah, right?
The nicest, sweetest person on the
or
planet.
Lynch.
Darren
is just
Aronofsky,
hey,
very nice guy.
Yeah.
Makes those crazy movies.
Why is it the fucked up people that do comedies?
Wait a minute, I'm out of here. I didn't know this was gonna happen.
Never thought about that.
This is gonna be, I didn't know it was gonna be so personal.
Many of you, if not all of you, made some of your films with family members. Can you guys talk about what that dynamic is like in terms of collaboration?
For me, my brother is our executive producer who financed our movie, and the reason that sort of happened was my brother is this sort of fast-talking finance guy who was always like, if you want to make a movie, I could find you the money. And so I called him one day and I was like, can you put your money where your mouth is? And he was like, give me 24 hours, and that's the kind of guy he is. and got us some money to get started.
Cool. What's his
And-
phone number?
Yeah.
What's his
let's,
email
yeah.
address? I could text him right after
And
the.
I ended up sort of being in the middle because I don't mind fighting with my brother. Like, I don't mind being like, you are being a huge asshole. Whereas everyone else would be like, can you tell Danny that he's being a jerk?
Well, it's so incredibly hard to make a film. I mean, it's a miracle to just get anything off the ground. So it makes sense in a lot of ways if you have, over my brother and you guys, you have a shorthand. If you have a similar sensibility, you know what you're accomplishing together as a team. And then you can, like you're saying, you can get in a fight or something or disagree, and you bounce back instantly.
For me, there's the real family, and then there's the extended family of filmmaking. I like to work with the same crew over and over again. It sounds obvious, but like the concept of when you are potentially at your worst and at your most insecure and you're freaking out, to be surrounded by people who know you really well, who love you and who understand you.
You know how you all feel when you have this great idea and someone cuts you off in the middle of it, and they're like, "But no, we're going to do this," and that just happens a lot. In filmmaking.
I think what I'm trying to say is that we all feel like you need to collaborate in a way that.
Yeah. You see, we got this.
I was living in Iraq last year, and the bazaars there are flooded with pirated DVDs, but the majority of them are American comedies. And I was wondering why you think American comedy translates so well, the jokes and the themes, in international audiences.
I feel like when George Bush decided to invade Iraq in 2003, I feel like part of it was to get the American movies out there. The Hangover just doesn't deserve to be just in English.
Yeah. It's true.
Mission accomplished.